Workshop. My name is Patrick. I run the marketing department here, as well as evidently put up strange hypothetical situations involving foreign languages and millions of dollars cash. I've been doing that for a number of years, like going on 6 years now. And I say that to say I've been working in the digital marketing space as it pertains to selling art and photography, trying that problem, working on that problem quite hard for a while. In addition to that, I run 3 of these sessions a week, sometimes 1 or 2 sessions a week with our customers, art storefronts. So, I've been doing that for, like, going on a little bit over a year, I guess a year and a month now. I say that to say I do not believe there is another human being on this planet that talks to more artists and photographers on a week in, week out basis, okay? I have heard everything. I've heard it all. You think your problem is brand new and unique, it is not. I assure you. I've heard it, I've seen it, we've talked about it. In addition to that, I have a little bit over like 5,300 customers at art storefronts, and I get to see all their data. So the ones that are selling really, really well, we look and see, you know, how are these people capturing leads, email addresses? How are they nurturing them? Who's selling the most originals? Who's selling the most commissions? Who's selling the most prints? How are they doing it? Who's selling the most classes? And what's really important for me in bringing all that up, why do I bring all that up? I believe I can help you no matter where you are in your career, what problem you're working on, whether you think it's the right problem, the wrong problem, it's a niche selection problem, it's you've never sold a piece of art before problem, and especially whether you ever care to do business with art storefronts at all. We want to try and help you on this call, and I want this call to be as valuable as possible. So, as things roll along, well, I'm going to give a little presentation first, and then what we'll do is we'll get into the Q&A, which is literally my favorite part. And I want to hear what you think you're struggling with. What's going on in your business? What do you have questions about? Do you have digital marketing questions? Do you have pricing questions? Do you have questions about who Art Storefronts is, what we do? I want to answer literally all of this. Um, but going back to the fact that I've been doing this for a while, going back to the fact that I talk to so many artists and photographers on a week in, week out basis, I know conclusively a lot about every single solitary one of you on this call. Okay. And, all of you guys are here because you want to grow your art, your photography businesses, whatever it is that you're selling. Right. And a lot of you on this call, okay, think that your problem in today's day and age is a website problem. If I just had my art off of the website I was on and I was on this new website, I would be working great. I would be selling tremendously. Or you think you have a niche selection problem. I do a little bit of art and I do a little bit of photography. And if I just knew which one was the best and had my niche, you think that's your problem. Or you think you have a branding problem, or you think you have a pricing problem, or you think you need to just get a hold of that mythological list of high net worth individuals that everyone talks about. And if you had that list, you would have an incredible art business. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? I sort of borrowed good old Maslow's concept here, and he's got this pyramid. You don't need to know about it if you don't know about it, but he's got this pyramid here, right? And his point is you have to sort the bottom blocks, and then you slowly go up the pyramid. Okay, I got to make this full screen. Joyce, I see you squinting. You're like, okay, Joyce is on a small monitor. You need it big. Joyce, I will take care of you on that. So you have to sort the bottom blocks before you move up to the top blocks, right? So the first needs are physiological. You need to eat, you need to sleep. All of us need to be doing that every single solitary day. Then you get up to safety. You can build yourself a little house or a cave if it's the old school days, and then you can start working out and make some money. And then love, belonging, esteem, self actualization. You're a wonderful human. All the rest, right? So I have borrowed from Maslow's, and I've created what I call the art selling pyramid. And I believe quite conclusively, this is the path if you want a robust art or photography business that you can actually build and grow and have something as a result of it over the next coming years. You have to take this into account. And I talked earlier about how some people think they have a website problem, and some people think they have a niche selection problem, and some think they have a pricing problem. And I'm telling you, none of you guys have that problem. You can't even have that problem until we take care of the primary problem, and it's attention. Okay. Attention is the currency of the land. Just like Maslow's opportunity here, we have to eat and sleep every day. We have to understand that attention is the currency of the land, by which I mean eyeballs on your art or your photography. Attention comes in a couple of different fashions, okay? There is the owned attention, the attention that cannot be taken away from you, phone numbers, snail mail, email addresses. And then there is the rented attention, okay? Instagram followers, YouTube followers, or Instagram, YouTube fans, mixing them all up, Facebook, the social media following. That's rented attention because you don't own the rules. Anyone can change it, but they're both equally important. With attention, you can do anything, right? And another way to say it is, I know conclusively every single solitary person on this call, before we even talk, I can say it as a blanket statement. Every one of you needs to work on your marketing. Every one of you has a marketing problem. Every one of you has an attention problem, okay? Full stop. So until we can even solve any of our other problems, we have got to solve the attention problem first, right? And you know what I constantly say on these calls, and I don't want you looking at me funny on this one, Joyce, okay? Do you know who some of the most powerful women in the world are? Jose? Any ideas? The Kardashians, okay? Now, you can argue about how these women amassed the level of attention that they did, but you cannot argue with the results these women have been able to achieve, right? Like, I respect them. And you guys laugh, but those women, okay, could pick up a paintbrush and start drawing stick figures with zero talent this week and probably sell $10 million worth of art in the first year, okay? And the point of that concept is they have the attention. With the attention, you can do anything, okay? Without it, you're not in the game. You're just not even in the game. And so you have to think about attention. You have to think about your marketing just like Maslow's little pyramid here. Every single solitary day, you guys have to be working on getting more attention for your art, your photography, if you want to build a business and make money at this. And is that annoying? Oh, you better believe it's annoying. You guys just want to paint. You just want to photograph. You don't want to work on this. But if you don't understand that this is the currency of the land that we live in, and if you are not focused on some fashion in a daily basis on generating more that are doing the work that is going to bring you more attention, then you're not in the game. And it's just the truth. It's just the truth. So, okay, we all know attention is a currency of the land. We're going to come back on that. That we all need to be working on it. We all know you have a marketing problem. Fantastic. Next block is, I have like an outline on the, you can see like the block has an outline and then there's the word that's supposed to go in the middle. So I want to talk about the outline first. Two things critically important you understand as trying to make it as an artist or a photographer today. One, you have to understand the business model, okay? The business model that works, that is sustainable, that you can actually make a profit on. And that business model is selling direct. You need to be selling directly to your customers. There can be no middlemen between you and your end customer, okay? The primary reason for this, there's a whole bunch of them, but if you are not selling to your own customer and you are not retaining the data on your customer, my chair just popped, lame. If you're not retaining the data on your customer, you have no ability to market to that customer in the future. If you have no ability to market to that customer in the future, you're never going to be able to build a list of collectors. Now, let's talk about the collectors. I stole this concept. I borrowed this concept from this guy's book, okay? Don't be a starving artist. And this is from Weiland, okay? He's the whale guy. Most would say he's the #1 selling artist in the United States and has been for quite some time. There's some reasons for that, right? And Weiland's analogy is, or not analogy in his book, and this book is awesome, by the way. Annoying that he sells it on his website and not on Amazon, so you can't just go and get it right now. But I honestly want you guys all to buy it. Like, it's short. I think he's given all the proceeds to charity. April will put a link in the chat. They're like really, really good chapters too. Really, really quick read. Like no fluff at all in that awesome book. To Weiland, a collector is someone that will buy in upwards of 7 to 8 pieces of art from him over the course of a lifetime. That's the low end of it. I mean, some are buying 20, 30, 40, 50. And what ends up happening, and I go back to my aforementioned point that I've been doing this for a while now, and I've been working with customers for a while now, is the collector list can be thought of as your 401k. It can be thought of as your pension. The years go on and on and on. You build this collector list. You treat this collector list like VIPs. You respond to the folks on this collector list, social media updates, and say you love them and check in with them and everything else. And what ends up happening is, Joyce or Jessica comes out with a new series and they've just started their marketing. And the new series has 10 pieces on it. And They have a collector list. It's a small list to start out with, but the new series gets released, and one person buys one of the 10 pieces that you just released, right? And so 10% of what you just created was purchased by your collectors. Okay. Your job as the years go by is to increase that percentage and increase that percentage and increase that percentage. And I've got customers right now that have been doing this for a long time that will come out with a new series or have the new big sale, and 30 to 40% of the sale. And let me make this clear. It can be a sale. It can be a gallery show, pre-COVID, right? But they're going to come back eventually. It could be releasing a new series or whatever. 30 to 40%, sometimes 50% of their collectors are buying it. And so really, every single solitary one of you on this call, okay, I know none of you want to do your marketing. I know you just want to create. Well, I'm telling you, this is the path towards getting there, is building a collector list and cultivating it. And so, I bring this up twofold, and we're going to get into it more later. But without gathering data on your customers, okay, first, you have to have some data. You have to know who your customers are. Then you need to market to them. Then you need to get the sales. Then they become the collectors. Once they become the collectors, they get treated like they're staying at the Four Seasons. They're staying at the Ritz-Carlton, okay? Can I help you, Senor Cabello, right? Like, we're going to take care of you. So very, very important, all right? So once you understand the outer shell, then we can get into the meat of the next block. 3 ways to sell art, okay? There are 3 ways to sell art in today's day and age. Now, what is the best way to sell art? Trick question. Okay, same way it's always been. In person, yep, thank you, Joyce, I saw that. In person, face to face, okay? That will never change. That is the best way to sell art. That is the best way to do just about anything. You're bonding, eye-to-eye contact. I get to know who you are. I get to fall in love with you, know, like, and trust, and want to buy art from you because I know this artist, right? Problem, we are all of us geographically fixed on this earth. You have to sleep, okay? And you're not capable, unless you're my wife, of having 250 conversations concurrently. So we have to have a website, okay? We have to have our art on a website because it solves for these things. And, you're asleep, you're traveling, 10 people show up at the same time. The website is very effective at selling art in that capacity. Here's the dirty little secret, though, and I always get some eyes on this one. The website is the worst way to sell art, okay? Patrick, I thought you guys provided websites. Yeah, we do. It is still the worst way to sell art, okay? I want to talk about the third way, the newest entrant on the scene, if you would like, and it's exactly what we're doing right here, right now. It's via video in either a one-to-one fashion, okay? Like I call up Christina or I email Christina or I send her a social media update. Christina, I would love to see some of your pieces. I'm interested in. I'm trying to figure it out. Christina goes, Patrick, wonderful. I would love to set up a Zoom call with you. I'll show you some of my pieces. We can talk through them, okay? And you can let me know if you'd like one. Does that sound great? Christina, awesome. Let's book that, okay? Whether it's one-to-one or it's one-to-many, meaning you're running a live art show, okay? And we can talk about these and I can show you some of these. This third way, okay, is right now, as in 2021, and I know video is not new, I know Zoom calls is not new, but the pandemic just ushered in a new wave of video commerce. And it is so wonderful for selling art and photography. I can't even begin to tell you. It is the most important thing that has happened in this industry since forever, okay? Forever. And an easy way to think about it is like everything that we attempt to do digitally, okay, all we're really attempting to do is duplicate the experience of in-person, face-to-face, and get it as close as possible to that in a digital capacity. So the way that I like to think of it is like, what's the best way to sell art? Have an art gallery on Main Street in your town, right? People come in, they get to meet you, they get to talk to you, they get to buy your art. Problem though, not everyone lives in your town. Next best way, turn the camera on and walk through that gallery and talk to them and have a conversation and go through it and show them. The worst way is leave the doors open to your gallery and let anybody come in they want and get no help whatsoever. That's your website, okay? That's your website. And the whole entire world is trying to figure this out right now, which is just mega, mega fascinating. You know, we have been to I'm not going to toot my own horn. Why I toot my own horn, okay? We have been at the forefront of this for quite some time. And so, I'm going to give you a for instance. This is a live art show, okay? This is a customer. Just to give you some of the tradecraft, you can see he's got the things in his ears, the earbuds, that's connected to his phone. His phone is connected to Instagram. You can see that there's text and some fancy stuff going on the screen. We're running some software to do that. It's live on YouTube. It's live on his personal Facebook page. It's live on his business page. And this is just a for example. Not everyone needs to be like this. This particular gentleman, despite not having any sleeves, sold I think 62 pieces of art in a 15-day period for a little bit over 30,000 Canadian without leaving his studio, which is in his garage in Laval, Canada. And this was in this instance clearing out some old inventory. So we just ran another one of these a couple weeks ago. Okay, and similar situation.
From,
This
and let
artist
me know.
name's Meg Knappenberger, and she was moving studios. Okay. Oh, and this is when I get to tell my whole story when it really gives teeth. So she was moving studios out of one studio into another studio, and I was like, Meg, we've got to run a live art sale. I know you've got a bunch of stuff. You don't want to move from the one studio to another. Let's do this, right? Now track with me on this because you guys will appreciate this. There were 70 pieces in this particular show that she ran, or 72 pieces, something like that. The show got announced Monday morning. It was going to run on a Wednesday. And by the way, I'm going to send you links to all this stuff so you can watch them later and you can see how she does it, see whether you like it. Announced the show on Monday. Show's going to be on Wednesday. Guess what else happened on Monday? Meg keeps a collector list. Okay. So Meg sent an email to her collectors and said, hey guys, I love you guys. Thank you so much for supporting me throughout all the years. I just want to let you know I'm having this live art show on Wednesday. Of course, you can come if you want to, but I wanted to show you guys the pieces before anyone else. And if you like any, just let me know. So in her case, it was 46%. 46% of the show was over before it even started. Her collectors bought all of those pieces. So that goes to show you kind of like the entire thing from start to finish. But let's go up a level, right? Like here we are in like the low, just getting started artist art storefront level. So Art Basel puts out this report. You guys don't have that many reports in your industry. Don't worry, I'm going to send you this one too. I want you guys to read this thing. It's awesome. So it's a combination by Art Basel and UBS, and they call it the Art Market Report for 2021. And so you can see here, you can download the report. Did I open it up? I guess I'll just download it. You can download the report, or if you're lazy and you don't want to read the whole thing, they have this like key findings thing, which is pretty cool. And they like built up this nice like looking website. Yes, I'll accept your lame cookies. They built up this nice website with, you know, all the things. But just quickly, where is it? The table of contents on this thing is awesome. So check it out. So the global art market in 2020, dealer sales, auction sales, art fairs, online sales, global wealth and collector perspectives, economic impact and conditions. Now, it's a little disingenuous because they only talk about the top of the top. You know, like if we were thinking a sports league, realistically, probably most of us on this call are in the amateur league, right? We're not at the pro level. You know, the pro level is only like 0.01111% of artists, the Sotheby types, you know, the top of the shelf. But as you go through this report and they talk about, you know, what happened to the global art market in 2020 in the height of the pandemic, it's like, now you can see they got these nice little animated graphs and everything else. Do you know what they're talking about more than anything else? Yes, art sales were really strong. We know this. Yes, more art was sold online than ever before offline, all of those things. But do you know what they're trying to figure out? Do you know what OVR stand for? It's a snooty person's way of saying Zoom calls. Okay. What they're saying is OVRs, online viewing rooms, because we can't call them Zoom calls, had been an extremely effective way to sell art to high net worth individuals that were no longer going to walk into their galleries, was no longer going to walk into Sotheby's, right? Or any of the rest of them. So they've been trying to figure it out. Okay. Now let's talk about the show and fair circuit, right? Like everyone that's on the show and fair circuit. You know, how many of those people that had booth deposits held did the show or the fair go, don't cancel your deposit? We're going to offer a big virtual online show and everybody's going to come and you're still going to be able to sell. Let us put it all together, right? I heard like 50 examples of that over the course of the year, most of which failed miserably because let me tell you, there are a lot of moving pieces to running an online art show. It's not an easy process by any stretch of the imagination. My takeaway in all of this, okay, is you guys as artists, okay, you guys as photographers need to understand the 3 ways to sell art. You need to be strategic and intentional about them, and you need to be having all 3 going on in your business at all times. And that is how you build an effective art business. And then the very top of the pyramid, everything else, okay? When you are working on the attention on a regular basis, okay, your marketing, which I know you guys all suck at, artists and photographers just do, that's just the way it is. If you understand the 3 ways to sell art, if you are selling direct and building your collector list, that's when you can do everything else. What's everything else? Let's say Jose's art's in a gallery right now, right? Is he keeping his customer information? No, he's not. Okay. But this thing is paying him money. It's a revenue source that's working. Fantastic. Keep it going. I have never met a revenue source I don't like. Okay. We keep that going, but it's in addition to everything that we're doing to get more attention, to the 3 ways to sell art, to building our email list, to building our collector list. Okay. Or what if you're on an online gallery? Same thing, right? Etsy, Fine Art America, Redbubble, whatever. Do you get to keep your customer information? No, you do not. But if it is a revenue source that is working, I love it. What about the show and fair circuit? If that comes back, when that comes back, love that too. Great opportunity to generate leads, like an incredible way to sell art. So that's the pyramid. And I think that pyramid sums up in 3 little blocks with my 1 and 2 what you need to be doing if you want to build a sustainable, profitable art business that cannot be taken away from you. You know, and I'll say as a disclaimer, like, you know, week in, week out, the hundreds of these calls that I'm making. Do you know how many artists and photographers that I've talked to that are in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s at the top of their game, the top of their craft? They had a wonderful business that was going well with an offline revenue source. Yeah, we'll see you, Jose. The pandemic hit and it was just taken away. Boom, snatched right away, right? Like the shows and fairs, they do not work if those things are not at 100% capacity of attendance, right? And they're not at 100% capacity of attendance right now. They're not even close to that. And they might not be for 2 or 3 years because people are gun shy. So those things don't work. The galleries, half of them are closed, okay? Maybe more than half are closed. And the ones that are going to stay open and survive this, they are going to have the pick of the litter with artists. They're probably going to want to readjust the split from 50-50 to 60-40 or 55, you know, and they're going to push out the payment terms. Like it's going to be ugly. And so I sit here week in and week out and I get on these calls and I feel like such a punk because Patrick, are you sitting here telling me, you know, I'm 55. I was well into 6 figures a year. My business was going incredible. And you're telling me that I now have to go get in the trenches and you know, learn how to market my business and market myself and build a collector list. And I'm like, yes. It's like effectively like you used to have the window office, okay, the executive suite, and now I'm telling you, in your 50s or your 60s, you're going to have to go back to the mailroom and start pushing the cart again. It's like, what? But I don't know what the alternative is. I honestly, in the landscape that we're in right now, aside from just wait, I don't know what the alternative is. How else are you going to get your art, your photography in front of people? How else are you going to sell it if you don't embrace the pyramid? I can't figure out, is it there? There. If you don't embrace the pyramid and start putting that into practice. So we feel very strongly as a business about the pyramid. We feel it is the future of how you have a sustainable business, of how, you know, 5 years from now, God forbid, whatever other crazy pandemic, something else comes down the pike, that you're not going to be left out in the cold and you're going to have the ability to sell no matter what happens because you control the rules, right? So that's what we advocate for. And you know, everyone thinks we're a business that sells websites. We're not a business that sells websites. We're a business that creates a set of conditions such that artists and photographers can succeed. That's it. That's it. And really, just in a word, it's marketing. It's teaching you how to sell art and photography, how to market, and how to build a business, and no one can take away from you. That's really it in a nutshell. I hate that term, in a nutshell. This is me in a nutshell. But that's my rant. I'm sticking to it. Christine, I see your question. Yeah, it's from, okay, good. Someone answered. It's from 2021. So at that point, love to open it up to the Q&A. Couple of different ways we can go about the Q&A. You know, number one, if you're on camera, I'll see you. You can do the old school hand raise, right? That works. If you're not, Christina, you've already done it digitally. Christina, you can see, has done it digitally. So at like the bottom of the Zoom window, there's like a participants thing. You can see it's, let me get myself out of the way. It's like right there, participants. If you click that, there's a way you can digitally raise your hand, which is exactly what Christina did. And then, you know, I know she's in the queue. I'll answer the question. You don't want to be on camera? Totally get that. I hate being on camera. I hate being on video. So if you want to keep your camera off and you just want to ask questions via audio, we can totally do that. In addition to that, um, there's the chat. We're monitoring the chat. My team's in there answering questions. You can ask questions in the chat. I will get those as well, and we can pick them up that way. And then also, we're streaming this live on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook, and I'm able to pull those comments in and see them as well. So you can leave questions there. I will be happy to answer those the entire time. But at that point, let's get into the questions. Christina, you are up first. You'll need to unmute bottom left-hand corner, like little microphone icon. I'll let you know when you get it. Yep, gotcha.
Hi. Okay,
Hi.
so thank you for calling on me. But the first question is, are we streaming live with my face on YouTube and Instagram and all of that right now?
Nope, I haven't turned it on yet. Do you want me to or no?
No,
I will not.
thank you.
I will keep my ugly face, which is a travesty. Okay, Christina, it's a travesty.
No, actually, it's not. It's very friendly, and you look a lot like an old friend of mine, Alex Mendozian. You could be twins. You look alike. You speak alike. You probably know who Alex is.
Wonderful. I wish I did. Say what's up to
Oh,
him for
he's
me.
one of the huge marketing gurus. He's brilliant.
Okay.
Anyhow, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for keeping me off
Yeah,
screen.
my pleasure.
I have a couple of questions here for you. The first one is NFTs.
Yes.
Okay, so I saw the first notification of that with Beeple,
Mm-hmm.
Mike Winkleman.
Yep.
I think that was December. I think it was 32 pieces, and it went for three and a half mil or something like that.
Yeah, I think like 3.75.
Okay, yeah. Then I guess last month he did the JPEG of all of his pieces
Mm-hmm.
from that 13
Mm-hmm.
years, and it sold for 69 mil on
Mm-hmm.
NFTs.
Mm-hmm.
Now I've spoken with Reed several times.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I would love to do your program.
Yes.
But the thing is, if I'm investing this kind of money
Mm-hmm.
and this kind of time and having to bring, because I'm not a tech person, somebody with me
Mm-hmm.
to do this, I want to be on cutting edge.
Yes.
Okay. So Goldman Sachs, all of these people, they're all, having their funds for cryptocurrencies and
Mm-hmm.
everything else. One, where do you see NFTs? Two, what are you doing about it right now? Three, what are your plans and views for that in the future and going beyond? If we're cutting edge, let's be the cutting edge. So the
Yeah.
floor is yours. And
Yep.
then I have a question about a different topic
Yep.
after that.
Yep. No problem at all. Hugely into crypto. Both myself, the CEO of Art Storefronts, been holders, buyers, traders of it for years and years and years. So super aware of the crypto industry. I'm going to send you guys. There's an episode, a live streaming episode. I'm actually finding it right now. April put the link in the chat, where we sort of talked about NFTs and what we think they portend, and we're extremely bullish on them long term. We think they offer an incredible opportunity for a whole bunch of things and could solve some probably call it serious problems that exist in the art industry. That being said, what no one likes talking about in the Beeple example is the fact that that guy created a piece of art a day for 10 years straight, never stopping. Yeah. So
it was like every day. Yeah.
Yeah. So, the buying art, okay, buying photography is already a process that is so utterly, completely full of friction. It's mind boggling, meaning that there are so many ways for the buyer to fall off. It's hard enough to have it on a website. Just let me finish, and go through that whole process and do it. When you add in the difficulty of doing crypto and having to own the crypto and then buying the piece with the crypto, and the fact that you don't actually get the piece delivered, you just get a token that says you own the piece, but someone else could download the piece. They've got a lot of stuff to figure out with NFTs right now. The good news is I don't believe, myself, the CEO, that it's cannibalizing what's going on in the normal art market. It's in addition to the normal art market. Okay, it's in addition to the normal art market. And that's a great thing. And there's a lot of kids that have made a lot of money with crypto that are looking to spend some of it. And so, do I genuinely believe there's some opportunity there? Absolutely. But I will just tell you, if you are not selling well in a world where it is much easier to sell art, thinking that you're instantaneously going to move into NFTs and your art is going to sell like gangbusters is pure folly. It is pure folly. Now, do we have a couple of customers that have sold a couple of NFTs? Yes. Is that the norm? Absolutely not. Right? Like it launched with so much hype and fanfare and everyone talking about it. And again, it's awesome, but I don't think it's anywhere near there yet. And you still have a marketing problem on another marketplace, just like you do now. It doesn't, the NFTs doesn't change the marketing problem. Yeah.
Okay, so this is still within the NFT thing, and
Mm-hmm.
then as you say, there's another area I want to ask.
Yes, absolutely.
So I am a painter and a sculptor. That for me, I don't create online digitally, although I am also an excellent photographer, but none of that has been uploaded, for anything.
Hmm.
So as someone that works with paint and brush or
Hmm.
with my hands, is NFT even a possibility? How would that even be digitized? And then the thing is,
Yeah,
in
so
addition, yeah,
this is the other thing about NFT. The NFT, okay, does not deliver the asset. Meaning, let's just say you did have it digitized, whatever the artwork is. When I buy the NFT, all I'm buying is a token, okay, that has
hmm
some information based on the fact that I own the rights to this digital asset. It doesn't give me the digital asset. The digital asset is not encoded into the blockchain. You still have to send me that, right? So all it is just an ownership token, right? That dictates what rules if I go and sell it in the future and such. So it's you could easily make up as many certificates for your work as you wanted, and it could be attached to the physical item all day long.
now, are they saying that the rights of reproduction are included in those
Well, you have the ability to put all of that into a smart contract if you're so inclined. Yeah,
or not, as
or
the
not.
case may
Exactly
be?
right. Exactly right.
Okay. Do you know? Because I have been trying to find out a really good sources of
Hmm.
how to get accurate information on that. Do you have any sources you could help
Yeah, I mean,
uh,
I could
maybe
send
lead us
you.
to where we could educate ourselves?
Yeah, I mean, one of my favorites on the topic, and I'm not being cheeky here, is GOOGLE.com.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not being cheeky. You can search that way and you can find out what the good marketplaces are. But here's what I would tell you, Christina. If I am taking myself out of this Zoom call right now, I'm popping into your house. I'm actually your cousin. You and I have known each other for a long time, and I'm advising you, do not waste 1 second on NFTs right now. You don't have an
Okay.
NFT problem. You have a marketing problem. Until you solve the marketing problem, you're never going to figure out the NFT problem. And like anything that we do in marketing to like build our art careers and to sell more art and photography, it all comes down to ROI, right? Like I could, I and what is the biggest return on investment for your time, energy, and talent working on your business? I'm here to
hmm
tell you it is not NFTs. It is to work
Okay.
on your marketing. And if the goal is revenue, if the goal is just to have fun and learn about NFTs, awesome, go do it. But if the goal is revenue for your business, I would let the NFT situation sort it out. I would work on my marketing. It's going to be years until that whole thing settles down and is actually like a really good viable path for most artists. So that would be my advice.
Okay. Yeah. Because I've been very blessed. I've had a cafe lifestyle.
Hmm.
So I've sold over 350 original pieces just by sitting in cafes in France, or I was Art Basel, Switzerland,
Yeah.
or living in LA.
Hmm.
So it's always been face to face. The galleries for me have sold maybe 5% of everything
Hmm.
that I've done,
Hmm.
and it keeps going up and up and up. So I know, I know the value of that.
Yeah.
Um, so how do I do that? Obviously through these, type of calls that you were already addressing. But the thing is too, I'm also looking at, because I also do Little Arts Foundation for kids and a little Planetary Peace Foundation.
Hmm.
So I'm looking at building wealth, sustainable wealth for the benefit of others.
Okay.
Okay, so how do I give back to the planet, the community, the world in a way that helps making this a better place?
Yeah.
So that is wealth
Yeah.
that, way beyond anything I would ever, need for myself or even want for myself.
Yes.
So that's why when I look at an 18-year-old getting on his first NFT, $500,000, it's like, hello, what can I do? What can I learn here? What can I do better
Well,
here?
for sure, for sure, and it's impossible, right? It's like gold rush days, right? Like we're all sitting around New York, and somebody comes up with a story about there's gold in the water in San
Yeah,
Francisco,
we're
and
all
let's
yeah.
get over there, right? Like, yeah, it is very interesting. It is very fascinating. I would not waste even a second stressing about them.
Okay.
Aside from your margin time where you just want to learn and educate yourself, again, we'll send you this one. You can listen to this episode. It's a pretty good one. We talk about it, whether we think it's the future of the art business. It'll give you some good context, but it's just, you know, we've listed, we've gone through the process, we've looked at it. If you don't fix the marketing problem, you're not going
Yeah.
to, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And with COVID, I've got a major marketing problem right now. I
Everyone,
have
Christina,
Canada.
everyone on this call has one. Yeah,
Well, at this point, Canada is, you can't even go province to province.
yeah, I know,
Okay.
I know.
So that's been where you are under such, it's really interesting.
Yeah.
So that being the case, moving forward. Now, part of it is also, this is now my second question,
Okay.
dealing with press and reviews. And how does your program, either the silver or the gold,
Hmm.
or and I know you've got a whole thing for social marketing, is another package. So I'm familiar in terms of the things that you offer. So if I now start needing to build up international press,
Why do you need to build up?
how
Why do you need to build up
how do you
international
do that
press?
for yours?
Why do you need to build up international press?
Because a lot of people, what I have discovered, because I've been in markets like LA, as in Beverly Hills,
Hmm.
or Cannes, south of France, Monaco,
Hmm.
or Zurich, or that type of thing.
Hmm.
So there are a few things that really matter to collectors that I've discovered.
Hmm.
One, auction value. Now, I've been really blessed. Only one piece has ever ended up in auction
Yeah.
on mine, and it got 4 times what they thought it was going to get. Okay.
Yep.
So there's essentially zero auction value on me. Um, like with only one piece. The other thing they want to see is press. Oh, look, she's, here, or this person's buying their work, or this person who's very well known in the art community is saying this about them, or she's included in this book or that book. So how are you addressing that? And is that even a factor still?
Nope, we're not. Waste of time. It's not. Look, it's not. It's not a complete waste of time. But we live in an era right now in today's day and age where you do not need any international press whatsoever. Will it help you? Yeah, you need to work on your marketing. That's it. There's no silver bullet. There's no shortcut. There's no get special international press and the galleries are going to notice me. You get noticed by focusing on your marketing, growing your email list, doing it all traditionally, and we find that to be the highest ROI activity. We don't have a single solitary customer who's like focused on press and press alerts and is making that pay significantly. So
Okay.
I trust me. In my opinion, you can differ if you like. Your only problem is a marketing problem. You got to start doing it. Keep creating, solving for the marketing problem, and you'll grow the business. I don't believe in
I've been
yeah
an artist since I was 15. So
yeah
it's now, how do I come into the 21st century instead of holding on to 1995?
yes yeah.
I hadn't want to be seen on camera. It's like, okay, folks, here we are. Welcome to my studio. And
I was never on camera, not one time prior to the pandemic. I had a podcast. Okay, at podcast, you're able to hide behind a microphone. It's just audio, right? So everything changed. I had to change. I had to evolve. I had to realize that, like, to be contrarian about this, like, this is the future, right? Like, you can either embrace it or do the head in the sand. But I go back to my buddy, and here he is. He's in Laval, outside of Quebec, right? Can you see that on my screen? I don't know.
yep.
And he's a guy that would normally, paint for 6 months, have the big gallery show, right? The full dog and pony, 50-50 split, doesn't get to keep his customer data. His pieces start at like $3,500 and they go up to like 30,000.
Hmm.
He had a great gallery show in Toronto prior to the pandemic, Thompson Landry, and almost sold out the entire show, did fantastic. He almost made as much money, okay, in his garage without leaving his house. And after this show was done, he sold 62 pieces. He had to ship pieces to Canada. He had to ship pieces to the United States. He had to ship pieces to Mexico and Central America, a few to Europe, and one to Asia. So there's a worldwide business, okay, that is happening out of his garage as a result of his marketing, in which he did extremely well, kept 100% of the revenue, and he did it without sleeves. I always make fun of him for the shirt. So I believe quite strongly that that's the future. I believe like the stranglehold that was the old way of doing business is no longer as prominent, and this is what we teach all year long.
Okay. And then you said, like, this lady before that did the online auction, and this gentleman,
Hmm.
that you had spoken with them. So what part of the program are they enrolled in that they actually get to talk to you and you are saying, oh, you need to do this now?
Like, what do you mean? What part of the? Well, they've both been customers for a long time, so I've got long time relationships with them, and but it's not like they're getting really any special access in the grand scheme of things. I mean, sometimes we run case studies with customers, but we have a full blown art business university. It does not matter what program or plan you come in on, you get 100% access to the marketing education, absolutely everything that you need. It's just about putting this stuff into place.
Anything else I should ask that I don't know to ask?
No, just promise me not too much time on the NFTs.
No, no, no. For me, I just want to educate myself and everything new, not everything new, but all of the things I know nothing about.
Yeah,
These are technologies, it's NFTs, it's ways of doing business, it's health education, whatever it is. I'm always in school. I
mm,
love learning. So time I reimburse, re-embrace life again, engage, get my head out of the sand and go, okay, here we go.
for sure. My goal for you, Christina, is that you start your marketing tomorrow. No more research. No more talking about it.
Just,
Start grinding. You've
okay,
already sold a ton of art in your life. You have an attention problem, same as the rest of us.
perfect.
Yeah,
I am very grateful for you. I thank you for your time and everybody else for your patience in allowing me this time. Thank you and God bless you all and stay safe.
stay safe. Appreciate it, Christina. Okay, Jessica, you're up next. And then Rose, your hand was up and it went down. So you just let me know if you want me to come back. Um, yep, gotcha.
I don't have any questions. I am soaking as much in as I possibly can. I actually work in marketing. I'm an art director
Nice.
and looking to break away and possibly freelance. And so just exploring, just very green. Don't know any of your packages or offerings or anything like that. So this Zoom call is very informational and educational. So thank you.
Fantastic. And I also want to congratulate you because it does look like we have a winner for the most comfortable headphones of the day. Congratulations on that. Those things look lovely. They look nice. Okay, you have any questions? Just definitely let me know. Art director for what kind of company? Just out of curiosity. Oh, yeah, you muted again. Well, I might have to unmute you again. Hold on. Okay, I got you.
Okay, great. So I'm in Arizona, and Grand Canyon University
Nice.
is a university here in Arizona, and so I work in-house for them. We just broke away from being in-house 2 years ago, and technically the agency is Grand Canyon Education, so primarily for K through 12 school districts in the regional area as well as the Southwest region of the United States.
Very good. Love it. Keep that day job going. Start working on your marketing. Start selling some art, and then you slowly transition from there. Okay, Rose, did you still have a question too? I'm gonna unmute you. Mike, bottom left. Yep, gotcha.
Yep, got it. Hi,
Hi.
everyone. Sorry that my video is yellow.
No, it's
It's a
okay.
new computer and I have to have my video card checked. So I have some questions in regards to the quality of the printing.
Mhm.
Um, do you know if your printers are like G7 certified for color correction and like Six Sigma based quality,
Yeah, so I
processes?
can answer that a couple of different ways.
Because there's also like expanded color gamuts and
Mhm.
things like that. And many times artwork has that the basic CMYK or RGB doesn't cover.
Yeah, so the two print houses that we use are Bay Photo on the West Coast, Graphic Dimensions on the East Coast. They're both huge companies. I don't even know, doing $20 or $30 million a year each. They all have. This is just true of printing, period. And don't take this as snarky on my part, because you could certainly order samples and you could compare and you could look at the certifications. I think all of it's nonsense. Here's the truth: 20 years ago, printing, there was a fantastic skill and talent to it. Now everyone has the same computers, the same monitors, the same color calibration for the screens. They are all using the same printers. They are all using the same paper from the same manufacturers. And the quality one to one is identical. Number one. Number two, no one can tell the difference. No consumer can tell the difference. Customers are never asking about the difference. And so I believe, sadly, on some levels, that printing has just sort of become a commodity in today's day and age. But you can order samples. They have the two print houses are like two of the most respected in the entire United States, as well as two of the biggest in the entire United States. So yes, that we have zero issues with quality or longevity, or any complaints. Couple that with the fact the CEO of this company that started it owns Breathing Color, and Breathing Color is one of the I don't know if you've heard of them. It's one of the largest canvas and fine art paper manufacturers in the United States. So point being, printing's massively in our DNA.
Mhm. Yes, it's the same with me. I spent 7 years in R&D with color management and RGB printing
Mhm.
with the first digital camera and first RGB printer
Mhm.
launched in Chicago, 1994.
Mhm.
spent a lot of time with the Japanese trying to tell them how to see color for the North American market.
Yeah.
I was a graphic artist and research and development and color specialist for Fuji Canada and the US.
Oh, awesome.
So
So you've heard
1994 is a long time ago.
you've heard of Bay Photo for sure then, right?
Pardon me?
You've heard of Bay Photo then for sure.
Yes, I
Yeah.
did. I have.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, my husband's also high-end printer for offset printing and packaging and manufacturing. So we're like, we don't have blood, we have ink.
I love that. I love that. Awesome.
Multicolor. But yeah, it's just that I was wondering how they manage color when it comes to like fluorescent coloring,
Mhm.
or if they have like some of my paintings have some metallics on it. Do they use like varnish over it to give that iridescent look? Do they have different tiers to project that? Because some of the paintings you need that to make the painting whatever it is. And so I'm just wondering how they handle that.
Yeah, you would have to ask them because obviously you've got some questions that are probably a little bit more detailed than most. But
Okay.
Again, Bay Photo is a huge company, Graphic Dimensions, so too. They've got all the toys and they take their print permanence, their color, everything else really, really seriously. So
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
they're not too far from where I am now. I'm originally from Montreal, but we live in the Bay Area.
got it. Yeah, so they're really close to you.
Yeah.
That'd be a fun phone call for you because then you'd be able to keep them on their toes, I'm sure.
I actually ordered 2 samples with my work on it, the same painting, to see what the color difference and what
From
texture is.
from
But
Bay?
it could be expensive. Huh?
From Bay?
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let us know how it goes.
Yeah,
But don't get too
absolutely.
wound up in it because the customer just doesn't know the difference, right? They don't know the difference. And I don't mean it's like, somehow taking advantage of the customer, but as artists, what I see is that, a lot of times they'll get like so obsessed with the print quality and the print permanence and the color and everything else. And you're the only one that can even see that level of detail. No one else can.
Mhm.
And it is not a massive concern for the customer. And it's not something that's, they're worried about and they're asking in the slightest. Like a lot of them are going down and getting the cheapest, crappiest prints imaginable, right? And so as long as you solve for good inks, best longevity, good paper types, that's sort of the barrier that we think is, offering the integrity of giving your customer a wonderful print. And then, I'm admittedly extremely cynical in this because I want all of the time you stressing about prints taken away and put into marketing. But I'm a marketing guy,
Oh, I
right?
get the marketing.
Yeah.
I just yeah,
Yeah.
I'm aware. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've owned my own business for the last 20 years. Unfortunately, I had to close down that business because of the face-to-face. I
Mhm.
owned an interior design business the last 20 years, but in the Bay Area, there's no way you're going to be face-to-face. So I'm like, okay, time to go back to my original career.
I
Let's
know.
go.
I know.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So
This,
I did a 180, kind of a 360 back. Well, not 360, more like a 180
yeah,
back to
a
fine
circuitous
arts.
route back to where it all began. Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay. I find that sometimes things like this just reset you. And I go by the motto my parents used to say, never fret when things change. It's a good kick in the butt to get back to what you want to do and
Great
clean out the
advice.
garage and start over,
Here, here.
and just build on what you've built. Nothing's lost. Knowledge and contacts and grit and gets you going.
Love
Yeah.
it. Love it, Rose.
Yeah.
That attitude, I'm betting
Thank
on you. I'm betting on you. All right.
Thanks. Thank you for your time, and thank you everyone for listening.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so that's it on hands. We're going back into the chat. Okay, so Joanne says, I'm taking classes from AWAI in marketing and email. Wish I could move over to your program as my love is painting. Yeah, I'm definitely not against classes. Ish. The problem with today's marketing landscape is, and this was certainly the problem when I went to school. If you're taking it like in an official college, Joanne, I would say don't do it, because the problem is that by the time the ink is dry on the textbooks that you're reading, the goalposts have already moved over here. the entire thing has changed. Now, if you're learning the fundamentals of marketing, wonderful. If you're learning like actual application from a school that's not on the front lines of doing it, then I would prefer that you just learn on the job, because it's the best way. It's literally the best way, and things are changing so quickly. It's like literally the only way that you can kind of, you know, stay up with everything and keep everything going. So that's what I would say. Yeah. And Austin's got some questions for me on Facebook. He's talking about NFTs. If the NFTs are the art someone is approaching you with, that they want your help selling through marketing because they're a great digital artist, can your model adapt and help them, or does your model not have that flexibility? Yeah, no, Austin, you can absolutely sell NFTs. You can sell NFTs all day long. Okay, I feel very strongly though that, you know, if it was my business, I would nail down selling, whether my art is digital or otherwise, that art in the normal traditional sales channels that I covered at the beginning of this thing, selling it direct, selling it via live video, selling it via your website. Once you have some traction, you know your product will sell and you are already selling, then you can move it into NFTs. But you could very easily, okay, very, very easily, Austin, get an NFT up. We've got customers that are doing it already. But once it's up, it's just on a marketplace site like anything else. You have to have some promotion behind it, which is where the marketing comes through. So, you know, the marketing is agnostic, because when I say it's agnostic, it's like, I don't care if you're selling NFTs, or, you know, I don't care if Jessica's selling the memberships to the Grand Canyon University, or, you know, Christina wants to give back. Like, fine, but you've got to have attention. You've got to have eyeballs, and that means marketing. And if you're not doing it, you're not going to sell NFTs. You're not going to just throw your stuff up there and have it work. But again, dude, I love crypto. I love it. I love what it portends. I love what the blockchain is going to usher in. I just don't think it's there yet. I think it's early days, and I think if you're trying to build a business with income issues for now, that, you know, my advice is just to you know, do it with the margin time, right? Like going back to the pyramid, you know, and I don't know if you saw my whole pyramid presentation, like NFTs are in the everything else bucket. Are you building attention? Are you leveraging the 3 ways to sell art? If you are, awesome. Then work on the NFTs with the additional time that you have, but not in lieu of these 2 other things. Not in lieu of the 2 other things. NFTs is not going to be like a catch-all, you know, survival for that. And Jerry Lee was asking, you know, do we have a print house in Canada? Someone on my team answered, you know, in Canada, they're a little bit particular about import-export duties. And so what we usually have artists do is, if they live in Canada, they use a print partner for their Canadian orders. If they want to sell directly into the US, they can use a US print house. So that's sort of how we go about that. Yeah. Okay, Linda wants to know information on packages. I can talk about that. I'm just trying to see what else we have going on in here. So Linda, in terms of packages, you know, the way that we work is like any other website company, in which we have a monthly fee. Wonderful. But in addition to that, you know, we have what we quite literally call the Art Business University. And the Art Business University for us, why isn't it up, is, excuse me, I'm trying to pull this up, is, you know, we offer essentially a graduate degree in art and photography marketing. Except it's not a degree, because there's never any graduates, because everyone needs to be learning and working on it at all times. And so, you know, we essentially call our entire education product the Art Business University, and it's a whole bunch of different stuff. It is, number one, and this is my roundabout way to getting back to pricing. It is do-it-yourself education, okay, DIY education in all the stuff that matters for art marketing. Maybe I can go through some of the courses here. And we can see how to go live on Facebook, how to best price prints on demand, tips from 100,000K plus a year artists, monetizing your talent versus creating a passion, how to leverage Facebook traffic for art sales, how to attract high net worth buyers, strategies for art gallery marketing, on and on and on and on and on. So this is all the DIY education, okay? In addition to the DIY education, what we also do is we put the entire customer base in weekly Zoom calls, okay? The Zoom calls are just like what we're on now. And we teach you the particular thing that we're all learning about. And we say, we want you to go and do this. And we get you to do it. And then we come back, we talk about it afterwards. We do that all year long. It's like being in college. It's like literally regular school, week in, week out. We have a calendar that tells you what to do 365 days a year. Time to run a sale, time to announce the sale. Here's how to contemplate the discounts. Here's how to extend the sale. Here's what to do during the sale. Here's how to get the Facebook and Instagram post to properly dovetail with the email copy that you are sending. Here's how to run a live art show. Here's when we're going to run a live art show. The whole thing, okay, is just can be thought of as an art business university. And so what we do is, there's a normal monthly fee for the website. I think that starts at $49, and then it is a one-time fee of $9.99, and you're into the Art Business University, and that pays for all the teachers, all the staff, everything that there is to support you, and continue to educate you for as long as you're a customer. And that's how we believe that we're gonna be able to create success for customers, is with that level of education. Quite literally, never stops, because the goalposts just move. They just move too much. Okay, Angela, you're up. You'll have to unmute microphone. Yep, gotcha.
Hi, can you hear me, Patrick?
I hear you a little bit, but you're really faint.
Okay, how about now?
I'm gonna go way up on my volume, and then I'm just gonna talk quietly. So go ahead.
My first question is, once we select one of the packages, how long does it take for the website to go live or to be online? And then also, I've got questions on, how many customers is this reaching? And, like when you are on, or if you look for a product or a business on Google, I know a lot of business have priority listing depending on their, um, views and customer feedback.
Mm-hmm.
So how is that listed? How are we marketed, on Google, and how is that priority listing?
Yep. So okay, so I know that was probably hard to hear for everybody. So her first question is, once you get started, how long does it take till you're up and online? It's a little different for everyone. If you've got good technical acumen, like you built a website before, or you're decent with computers, we try to get everyone live, their site live, in 14 days or less. One of the services that we offer is building the site for you, and so some people pay to have that done, and they're up in 14 days or less, sometimes like 3 or 4 days. Other people like to take their time with it, and it takes them up to a month. But either way, the minute it's all up and ready and running, you're ready to go. With the Google listing thing, the Google listing thing is nonsense, because it only applies to a very small subsection of artists and photographers. I.e., if you have a very specific search term that people can explain your art. Like if I asked you, explain to me how I would find your art on Google, and let's just say you're an underwater photographer that takes photos in Tampa, Florida. Okay. That person potentially has an option with Google, because if I search underwater photography, Tampa Bay, Florida, and his photos come up, I might buy. The intent matches the search term. What if your art's abstract? What are they going to Google then? Abstract art? Abstract art's a pretty big bucket, right? So the Google search, the reality is that Google searches, by which I mean organic keyword-based Google searches, or even if people are paying for Google ads, is not a primary art selling traffic source in today's day and age. I see very, very little examples of that, so you don't have to worry about it in the slightest. What is the size of your email list? What is the number of, it's not even necessarily the number of followers you have. There's so many different factors, actually, Angela, but you can't just come on and say, well, okay, well, how long is it going to take me? Because everyone's niche is completely different. Okay, everyone starts with a subject matter material that either is in high demand or low demand, and you can't compare your beginning to someone else's middle. What I can say is, if you work on your marketing, it can go quite well. We have customers that have over 1 million followers on Instagram. Okay, and we have customers that have 4,500 followers on Instagram, and the ones that have 4,500 followers sell 10 times as much as the guy with 1 million followers. Now that doesn't make sense, right? But the point is there's so many variabilities in all of it. The only one that is constant and matters at all is you get up on the website, you start working on your marketing, and you never stop. That's the path to growing a good business. I don't know if I lost you, Angela.
Oh, I'm still here. Okay, so it's not necessarily, so you're not necessarily providing customer lists to start
No,
with.
it's your art up on your website. You own the website. You're responsible for marketing the website. We teach you to do that all year long.
Okay, and are there any ads allowed on the website?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Unless you want to allow ads on it yourself. But we certainly don't place any ads on the customer's websites.
Okay, and what about prints, like lead time and shipping of prints?
Yeah, lead time in printing is really pretty standard. It's very quick. it slowed down a little bit during COVID because everyone did, and just the pure volume of stuff being shipped. But now I don't know. I don't know what the exact number is, but we don't ever get any complaints about it. So I know it's quick. I mean, Bay Photo and Graphic Dimension ship a ton, so they're pretty seriously on it.
Okay, so my last question,
Mhm.
The types of packages, I know there's, I think you sent me 3 different types of packages.
Mm-hmm.
So what would the benefit of like the most expensive package be to the least expensive?
Yeah, so there's a couple of different ways that they do it, and this is sort of why we do the demo process, because I don't have all the different levels and tiers and pricing and this and that memorized. There's not enough room in my brain for it, and they change things sometimes and it screws me up. But it's essentially at all 3 of the packages, you get 100% access to the marketing education, which is the most important thing in my estimation. That's number 1. Number 2, it's bells and whistles, and then we have a lot of people that like just want to do like a 4-year and a 5-year plan, and that has to do with it. You can save money if you do that, and so we have a bunch of people that do that because they want to take the commitment seriously. But I think when you request a demo and you that's why we do the demo process. If you fill out, and I'm so non-pressure sales in this whole thing. Like if you're just finding things out, fantastic. It sounds like you've already talked to somebody on the phone. When you talk to them on the phone, they should have given you the information on everything. But when you request a demo, you fill out the thing, they call you. It's like a 10 to 15 minute call. They find out about you. You can ask all the nitty gritty questions on prices and packages that I don't fully know. And then if you like it, then it goes into like the full hour demo where you get to see all the bells and whistles and behind the curtain and all the rest.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Patrick.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Thanks, Angela. And I think there's something going on with your mic, Angela. You don't need to fix it right now, obviously, because I was able to hear you, but it's just really, really low. So not sure what was going on there. Okay, Rose, you're up again.
So my question is, so you have the 3 levels
Yes.
for the system, but then you mentioned the social media package, and then there was some mention, I think, I'm not sure if it was on this.
Yeah, so
this
we
session
have
or
an
previous one about
in-house
the business school.
we have like an in-house marketing agency as well, because I say this all the time, but our customer base is like a standard 80-20, meaning 20% are full-time artists and photographers, 80% have jobs, right? So we realized that we needed a marketing agency to help people out on a one-off. Well, it's got everything in there. It's like they'll manage your Facebook ads, they'll build your website, they will spruce up your Instagram,
Okay.
spruce up your.
Yeah.
And so sometimes what they'll do, the sales guys, is throw packages like that in as incentives, like sign up today and you'll get like the Instagram package or whatever. So that's probably what you're seeing, but no matter what
Okay,
package
yeah.
that you come in on, you get 100% access to all of the marketing education, including the weekly sessions, including everything, which is the most important thing.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I won't, yeah, I'll do that myself.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna be doing this, I'm doing this full time,
Good for you.
so
Good for
I
you.
got no time to play around.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
And then the business school, is that,
It's included.
I don't remember what the actual name is, but
Art Business
that's
University.
part of it?
Yeah, it is. That's included too.
That's part of it as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Jess. Yeah, good session today. I was enjoying it. I should also say that we're running a sale right now, which I believe that we call, let me get it up, our spring special. So again, like this is the biggest non-pressure sales thing ever. But if you're just finding out about us, no worries. We're gonna be around, right? Like Jessica, like we'll be here. Do your education, no problem. But if it is something that you're considering, you're sort of on the fence, there it is. We've got a spring special, which I think ends in 9 days at the end of the month. So if you want to find out info, if you want to get into the nitty gritty about what it costs, and all the packages and everything else, totally recommend you request a demo. It's simple. The team calls you. You get to ask all your questions. If you don't ever want them to call you again, they won't. It's not that type of an operation. So it's pretty laid back, and they'll find out more about your career and kind of what you do. So that's what I would say in terms of where we are. Yeah. Any other questions? Why we're all in here? Zuzi, I see you're back in here. I just like saying her name, Sungarian. She was on a couple days ago. Although I think I'm mildly mispronouncing it. Okay, Christina's back for one more. Go ahead, Christina. Don't worry, I'm not going to pull you in.
There we go. Hi.
Hey.
Yeah, because I just don't want to be seen on camera.
Yes.
So, in terms of the packages,
Mhm.
pardon me, I think Rose just started to address it. So, you said that they will throw in the Instagram package. So, let's say I got the silver package,
Yes.
okay?
Yes.
And let's say I got the website. So, will they throw in, because my understanding is like all of the Instagram and running all of that is about another 1200. Are you saying that they would throw that in, or would they throw that in if you get the gold? What
I
would
would,
be
yeah,
a possibility
I
of
would
throwing it?
call in. I would call in and ask. I know they just offer incentives sometimes. I don't literally don't know the specifics, and so like when you request a demo, they'll tell you.
Would it be the same regardless of who I spoke with there?
Yes. Yes, it would.
Okay, and what would your recommendation be for someone who had, pretty decent career till all of this stuff hit?
Yeah, I mean, I think like I'm really glad you asked that question, right? Because it is one of the biggest fundamental terrifying things about all of it, right? And the reason I bring it up is because this is the scenario. Hey Patrick, here's my art. It's awesome. I've sold a ton of it and I'm ready to go online, but they haven't sold a ton of it. They haven't really sold any of it, right? And they're just thinking like the way to do it is to sell online. And no, you need to have sold your art to people not named mother, brother, father, sister, friends, because they'll buy anything, right? They'll lay down in traffic for you. They're your family, your friends. Once you've sold to strangers and sort of passed that barrier, which it sounds like you're well and truly there, the market has told you you have a product that the market wants, right? And so
Mhm.
really it just comes down to a marketing problem. So if you've got it and you've got the bandwidth, your only job is to get going and building up the marketing muscles you need, right? Got to be
Mhm.
capturing emails. You got to be emailing those emails. You have to be posting on the socials. Yes, you have to be doing the live art shows. And we're gonna have a camera issue there, Christina. You and I are gonna have to talk about that. In addition to that, you're gonna have to run sales when the time is right, and you need to get going on that immediately, right? Because let me guess, Christina, out of that whole career, did you keep an email or a contact list of all those customers?
Yes,
Have you stayed in touch with it?
not all of them, and they're divided between different email systems. And I'm actually okay in front of camera. I
Hmm.
used to work in front of camera, so I'm pretty comfortable. But with the COVID situation as it is right now,
Hmm.
the majority of all of the works on hand are in storage. They are not here. I probably only
Yeah,
have about 30 pieces with me.
30 pieces is more than enough to make it rain.
Okay, and the thing is too, I have always only used my website to direct people because am I off camera? If I turned on the camera, would anyone else be able to see me other than?
No, no.
Okay, hold on. Let me. Okay, hi there. Yeah, because yeah, it's better talking face to face.
Yep.
So, um, shit. Excuse my
It's
language.
okay. It's okay.
I don't know if you got a delay and hit a beep on that.
Yeah, I do have a beep here somewhere, but we'll just say just because I have it, let's see if it works.
Okay, so
That was the delayed
so
censor beat for Christina G. Okay, Facebook, don't come after me.
okay, so the thing is that I have I used I my business cards were postcard size, so people could actually see my work with
Yes.
all the information on the back, and then gave them out like confetti, and that would direct people to websites. So I would
Yes.
direct one on one my people to the website so that they could see more work, no
Hmm.
prices listed, and sell what I
I want
sell.
you. I want you to read that report, by the way.
Yeah, I want to read
Yeah,
that
we're gonna
report,
send it
by
to
the
you.
way.
So one of the primary conclusions, and they have such snazzy terms in there. High net worth buyers. What do they call them? NHWs or something like that.
Hmm.
Number one pet peeve of the high net worth buyers is the lack of prices on the website. You'll see it in that report.
Okay, well, for me, it's made a difference because if a gallery is getting them, it's one price. If someone is buying multiple pieces, then you've got a discount to a degree there. I've got to deal with the fluctuations in currency. Is somebody buying in euros or
None
are
of
they
those,
buying in
Christina, none
US?
of those are the slightest problem. You know what the only problem is? Selling the
No.
thing. Selling the thing. You know what the problem is? What are not the problems? Everything that happens afterwards, right? Currency exchange, price for them, price like no. You get the buyer to the door and get the sale. Everything else is easy to work out. You don't have a currency exchange and this problem and that problem. You have get buyers to the door problem, right? That's what we need, and we need it right now. So You just
But if the pieces are high value, and once I have a studio again, I don't necessarily want people knowing what that is.
fine. You don't need to do it that way. But right now, in the short term, you need to worry about getting eyeballs to your art and selling it. That's it. There's nothing else.
And you're saying to actually put values on the pieces
You,
instead of going on Instagram and having them contact me and doing that via email.
I'm saying right now, your boat is beached. Okay. And
Yeah.
and you're on the boat right now, and you're looking at the curtains in the galley, and
Mhm,
you're like, I think I want to change the color of the curtains in the galley to blue or green. And I'm saying, Christina, we need to push
mhm.
the damn boat in the water and get it floating. Okay. Then six
Yeah.
months from now, we can worry about the curtains. All of those things you're talking about does not get you sales tomorrow, right? I want you to start selling tomorrow. So
Okay.
that's work on the marketing. Trust me, we have a very good plan on this. You just got to follow the process, and after you pick up steam, you can make calls on all those other things.
After I do what?
Pick up steam, some momentum, some sales. Yeah,
Got it.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
We can help you, Christina.
Anything else I didn't ask that I should have?
No, I love that you asked that question. I think you're good.
Okay.
You just got to take every. All I want, push the boat in the water and make it float. Everything else comes after. Let's get that boat floating.
Got it.
All right.
God bless you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Very, very grateful
Yeah. Thank you, Christina.
for you
Appreciate
and
it.
everybody on this call. Thank you.
Yeah. Today's been a super fun one. Okay. My camera lights and Rose, trust me, I am aware of how many emails we send. It is ridiculous. Okay. I don't have complete control over that. That's not true. I do. But look, it's working. It's a terrible thing. And look, hearing it from me, I run the marketing department here. Okay. You have to at least give me a point, Rose, on that one in terms of transparency, right? I'm there. The thing about email and the thing about marketing, and I use this analogy all the time because I think it's a really important one. As a business, as the artist, as the photographer, and let's just use email marketing as an example. We believe as humans, okay, that every time that we come up with some sort of a marketing message, or every time that we send an email, everyone sees it. That's what we think in our heads, that everyone sees it. I use the analogy like all of us on this call, okay? We are all fishermen, and we all have a boat, okay? And we're all the fish are customers that we're trying to catch, okay? And in our mind, we believe that we drive our boat out to the ocean, and the minute that we put our line in the water, i.e., email, the fish are sitting right there under the boat. Nothing could be further from the truth. Do you know where the fish are? Who knows? The fish are 250 feet down. The fish are 3,000 miles away, and no one saw your message, okay? And if that's the case, most people drive the boat back and they had the line in the water that one time and that was it. What they're missing on is success at a point is dictated by how often you're actually fishing, because you never know when the fish is going to be at the surface. Okay, you never know when they're going to be in a position to actually see that marketing message, right? To experience it. So, do we oversend emails? Yes, absolutely we do. Absolutely we do. But is it effective to a certain extent? Yes, it is. Am I recommending that artists send emails 7 days a week? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We help with the email frequency, but it's interesting how that works. Yeah, but definitely unsubscribe if we're getting too many of them. I'm not going to take it personally in the slightest. You can still find us on the socials and find us online and everything else. Okay. Oh, did you want? Okay, I got you, Rose. I'll unmute you.
Yeah, the reason why it became a little annoying, it was because
It's
their
massively
emails.
annoying. It's massively annoying.
Because I don't want to sound like, it's just that it's never the same person or the same group of people. So the emails are coming in like robocalls. I
Mhm.
mean, it's like you call, it's just like there's so many people. Like, who do I talk? It's like
Yeah.
which flavor of the day did they pick for someone to send me an email? So there's just so many that it seems to me that no matter am I talking to someone who is specialized in it if I do
Mhm.
respond, or am I going to get one of 300 and they have to talk to their manager when I have a question?
Yeah.
I'm just being honest, that's the feeling I'm
No,
getting
I totally get it. I totally
as
get
a
it.
customer, possible customer that wants to learn more about you.
Mhm.
It just seems like there was a pool of people, and I have no idea who's going to be next, and it's just taking up my whole email feed, and it's like, whoa, slow down.
yeah.
I got to make decisions based on research, not on pressure, because
sure.
you keep saying you're not pressured. That's a lot of it goes from wow to, oh damn, another email, another one, and another one.
Yeah.
Just as I delete 3, there's 4 more to come in. So
We like to make
yeah.
sure that you have enough of them saved up for winter to make it. We do.
If it was $1 per email, I'd be rich.
Yeah, we do. We do have a big staff. You know,
Okay.
we do have a big staff internally, and that like that'll benefit you when you're a customer because there's so many different people to help you, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I take your point on the emails. I get it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's just that there are many that are yours from you. So
Mhm.
I kind of recognize the name. And then there's like a whole slew of others. I'm like, wow, the pool of 300. Who would I be talking to if I responded to this? So I don't know. It's just my opinion. Maybe it's just that I'm getting so many emails, not just from you, from everybody, that if I have to spend half an hour deleting emails, it's half an hour of my precious time.
Agreed.
Yeah.
You might want to put us on a filter and just filter us out.
But I want to thank
put
you,
the
though, just the same.
put the snooze
Yeah.
button. Yeah. Thanks, Rose. I appreciate it.
Right.
Okay, in the Zoom chat, how often can artists email collectors without angering or annoying them? You know, Alice, there's no like secret formula or magical number or anything along those lines. Like the general rule of thumb is as long as you're delivering value, okay, and you're not always asking for a sale and you're being awesome, then you can email them on a regular basis, okay? But again, you know, once a week is a perfectly reasonable time to email a list. If you can't get there, twice a month, perfectly reasonable way to take care of your list, right? So there's no magical formula. But if you're talking about collectors, Alice, and specifically, like we treat collectors like VIPs. That means we don't put them on mass emails. We send them hand emails, right? Sometimes we send them hand notes, right? Like taking it back to like old school thank you notes after Christmas style. You know, we cater to those people, and so that's sort of just the ballgame. But okay. Oh, we got one more question. Yep. Exactly, Mariana. If we didn't keep sending them, this totally makes me laugh. See, she honestly thinks it's a lot of emails as well, and she was not ready to read them, but we got her on a meeting, and we got Rose on a meeting, right? So you can't argue with the efficacy of it, and the fish in the sea analogy totally just holds true. That's how it works. All right, I am going to email you all of the links after the fact. I definitely want you guys reading that art report. I think it'll send your mind clicking and thinking in a bunch of different directions, and it's just cool to read a report on the industry you're in because you know your industry doesn't have a lot of reports. So that's a really, really good one to check out. Request a demo if you're ready to go. Spring specials running. 9 days left on that thing. Other than that, love to see you on another one of these. And you know, love to answer your questions. And I'll work on the email problem. Rose, I can't promise anything, but I'm going to work on it. Okay. All right. Thank you, you guys.